added back
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited you
Show
in.
the video.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Gentlemen.
Explosion. Pam Bondi had listened to questions for hours. She had tried to remain calm. He had said procedure. He had said authority. He had said confidentiality. But when Thomas Massie took the podium, everything changed. Massie was as cool as a cucumber. He was stating figures. It was showing documents. He was reading the dates. And Bondi couldn't explain those numbers, those documents, those dates. Then Massie asked the final question, and Bondi exploded. On camera, in front of Congress, he leaned into the microphone and shouted. But that explosion didn't save Bondi. On the contrary, it made everything worse. Watch this video until the end, because in the next few minutes, you will see how a Congress member calmly cornered a prosecutor and how that prosecutor lost control. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe immediately and turn on notifications, because what happened in Congress today was not just a Q&A. This was a clash of truth and lies, calmness and anger. 3:47 p.m. The hearing was going on for hours. Pam Bondi was tired. Ted Lieu had grilled her. Goldman had pressed him with the Epstein email. White House had accused him of hiding evidence, but Bondi was still resisting. His lawyer was by his side. He was saying executive privilege. He was saying, I can't give you details. When Thomas Massie stood up, Bondi was at ease, because Massie was a Republican. He was Trump's man. He wasn't going to ask tough questions, or so he thought. But Massie wasn't that kind of person. An MIT graduate, electrical and mechanical engineer. He has been fighting for transparency in Congress for years. Party doesn't matter. In pursuit of the truth, and the file in his hand would destroy all of Bondi's comfort. Miss Bondi, Massie said, his voice calm and flat, how many documents related to Epstein did you receive as Florida's Attorney General between 2016 and 2021? Bondi leaned forward. Congressman, the exact number. Give me a ballpark. Massie waited. 100? 500? 1,000? Bondi hesitated. There could be a few hundred documents. Massie shook his head. A few hundred. He took out a document from the file. This is the Florida State Attorney's Office Digital Document Management System. All documents registered under the Epstein category. He showed the document. Total, 1,847 documents between 2016 and 2021. He stopped. Not a few hundred. 1,847. Bondi made a splash. Massie continued. How many of these 1,847 documents have you reviewed? Bondi tried to speak. Our team is evaluating. You, personally, how many of them have you read? Massie repeated. Bondi couldn't respond. It's impossible for me to read every document. I can't read this document. Massie produced another document. This is from the same system, the category of documents submitted to the director, so the documents that come to your desk. He read it. Under the Epstein category, the number of documents submitted to the director, 347. He paused. So 347 of the 1,800 came to your desk, and how many of them did you examine? Bondi remained silent. Massie continued. Let me help you. This is the system's document opening record. Every time a document is opened, it is recorded who opened it and when. She showed the document. Out of 347 documents, 23 were opened with your user account, 6.6%. Massie raised his head. 347 documents came to your desk. You opened 23 of them. The others? Bondi leaned forward. Congressman, I have every document. What happened to the other 324 documents? Massie interrupted. He came to your table. You didn't open it. Where did he go? Bondi struggled to answer. Archived. It was archived. Massie repeated the word. Okay, in the archive? She produced another document. This is the Florida State Attorney's Office archive transfer records. Epstein documents were not transferred to the archive because they are under active investigation status. He paused. So it didn't go to the archive, but you didn't open it either. Then where are these documents? Bondi couldn't speak. Massie pulled out the final document. Let me tell you, these documents are in pending status, so they are stuck somewhere, neither in the archive nor in the active file. They are just waiting. He stopped, and the waiting time, an average of 847 days, 2.5 years. The hall fell silent. Massie continued. So 324 pending documents came to your desk. You didn't open them. They didn't go to the archive. They stayed pending for 2.5 years. What kind of procedure is this? I need to stop here for now, because Massie hadn't finished yet. 324 pending documents were just the beginning. Now Massie would show which of those documents were critical, and he would ask Bondi why he hadn't opened them. If you've watched this video up to this point, please hit the like button, and write in the comments, why do you think Bondi didn't open those documents? What was being hidden there? Leave your guesses behind, because now Massie will count the critical documents one by one. Massie opened a new page. Ms. Bondi, now let me tell you about the contents of that 324 pending document. He read the first document. Document 47, FBI report. The list of names found in Epstein's Florida properties. 89 names. High-profile individuals. It came to your desk March 2017. Did you open it? No. Waiting period, 1,124 days. He read the second document. Document 63. Palm Beach Sheriff Report. Local officials in contact with Epstein. 12 names. It came to your desk January 2018. Did you open it? No. Waiting period, 891 days. Massie sped up. He was counting the documents one by one. Document 78, Financial Records. Document 92, Flight Logs. Document 114, Witness Statements. They all came to your desk. You didn't open any of them. They're all pending. All of them are on hold. Bondi couldn't hold back. He leaned into the microphone. His voice rose. Congressman, you are sitting here playing with documents. I was a Florida prosecutor. There were thousands of cases. I can't read her document. The hall froze. Bondi had exploded. The cameras turned to him. Massie, on the other hand, did not react at all. He just waited, calm, cold. Then he replied slowly, Ms. Bondi, I am not playing with the documents. I am reading the records in your own office. Bondi continued, his voice still loud, and you are judging me here. I did my duty. I followed the procedures. Massie raised his hand. Ms. Bondi, please calm down. I'm just asking you questions. But Bondi didn't stop. No, you are blaming me here. Do you think you know everything just because you were an MIT graduate? His lawyer touched Bondi's arm, trying to calm him down, but Bondi had lost control. Massie didn't move at all. He didn't raise his voice. He just issued another document. Ms. Bondi, I'm just asking you one thing. These documents came to your desk. You didn't open them. Why? He stopped. A simple question. Bondi's face was bright red. Because I decided. I was the prosecutor. I decide which document is prioritized. Massie nodded. I understand. You made the decision. He issued another document. Then let me show you this document. This is a report sent from the Florida State Attorney's Office to the FBI, November 2019, and this report states, the Florida State Attorney's Office has not yet reviewed a significant portion of the documents related to Epstein. Due to a lack of resources, some documents remain pending. Massie paused. So you told the FBI the resources are insufficient, but in reality, the documents were on your desk. You didn't open them. Bondi couldn't speak. His anger had subsided, because Massie's calmness made Bondi's outburst look even worse. Massie continued, Ms. Bondi, I respect you, but the records are clear. You received 1,847 documents. 347 of them came to your table. You opened 23 of them. You left the rest pending, and you told the FBI resources are insufficient. If you've come to this video, share it with your friends, because look what happened. Massie asked calm questions, Bondi exploded, then Massie showed more documents. Bondi's outburst didn't save him, it cornered him even more. Massie released his latest documents. Ms. Bondi, I will give you one last figure. Of these 324 pending documents, 67 were marked urgent, so your team said this document should be reviewed urgently, and out of those 67 documents, how many did you open? He showed the document. 0. None of them.
Bondi bowed his head. Massie continued. 67 urgent documents. Documents mentioning Trump's name, witness statements, financial records. They are all marked urgent. They all came to your desk, and you didn't open any of them. He stopped. Why? Bondi didn't respond, because there was no answer to give. Massie closed the file. Miss Bondi, I am an engineer. I work with numbers, and the numbers say you systematically ignored the Epstein documents. You opened 23 of 1,847 documents, 1.2%, and the rest, especially the documents mentioning Trump's name, you left pending. Massie stood up. And today, here, I asked you calm questions. I showed records. I provided the figures. And you exploded. You yelled at me. You mocked me for being an MIT graduate. He paused. But this doesn't change. Numbers don't lie. 1,847 documents, 23 opened, 324 pending. 67 urgent ones ignored. Bondi lifted his head. His eyes were filled with tears, but he didn't say anything. Massie sat down. The hall was silent. The cameras were showing Bondi, his explosion, his shouting, then the silence. They were all on the records. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because this story doesn't end here. Those 324 documents are still pending. That 67 urgent documents were never opened, and one day those documents will come to light. Then it will also be understood why Bondi didn't open them. Thomas Massie exposed Pam Bondi today, with numbers, with documents, with composure, and Bondi exploded, on camera, in front of Congress. Do you think you know everything just because you're an MIT graduate? He shouted. But Massie knew. She knew the records. He knew the numbers, and most importantly, he knew why Bondi hadn't opened those documents, because those documents contained names that were meant to be hidden, and Bondi was protecting those names.